Now that we're back from the demonstration, I'm just going to wrap things up, do a little bit of a review. So, once again, for those of you who maybe didn't get this the first time, how do I use Textnav? You create a new Ruby script. You add the movement commands you want the robot to execute to the Ruby script. You run the Ruby script on your computer, which generates a text file. You then send the text file over to the NXT brick. You run the NXTG compiled code interpreter on the NXT brick, and that will interpret the text file, and it will drive the motors accordingly. This is a list of all the commands we have for Textnav. As you can see, Textnav should be good enough for FLL. You have a lot of commands to use. There are a couple limitations. First of all, it is impossible to change the flow of commands in Textnav. So there are no high-level loops. And when you think about it, the reason is because it would just be really hard to have NXTG, because this is all written core in NXTG, it would be hard for NXTG to like read a line in the text file that does ifs, because switches don't really work that way, and that might involve some recursion, and NXTG doesn't really support that. Another quote-unquote limitation is that you need to change the window in order to download, except we think we might have ideas on how to fix that, but that's a very small limitation. You just really need to remember to change the window. Slightly lower runtime. This doesn't mean that you're going to exceed an FLL. But this basically means if you're building something really time critical, like a balancing robot, you're going to be, you might have some problems with it. It might tip over because you can't react fast enough. But for FL, don't worry, you won't notice it. We ran Textnav all last year, and nobody said, "Why is your robot so slow? Why does it wait so long?" You can't notice it. And finally, Textnav is by no means a substitute for a real text-based programming language. If you don't need to be FL legal, just don't use Textnav. Do yourself a favor. Get an honest-to-goodness C language or Lego Java OS. Finally, in conclusion, Textnav addresses the shortcomings of NXTG. Textnav speeds up code development and downloads, and this allows you to get through more mechanical interactions/iterations. And this means that your robot can be better because you can try out more things in less time, because your programming doesn't take too long. Programming gets off the critical path. Textnav is open source. This is important, so you can change it whatever you want. You can look at the Textnav code. You can edit it. It's all 100% open source, and so you can add your own commands, your own NXTG commands. And finally, if your team does decide to use Textnav, please post a comment on the wiki page so we can list your team. We're trying to compile a list of teams that use Textnav, and it would be really appreciated if we could add your team to that list. Okay, so we're done. Hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. I hope it was informative, and that you'll consider downloading and using Textnav in this coming FLL season. Okay, bye.